he also like he's got the thick frame glasses and he's wearing like all black and again like the white Andy Warhol wig. Hey artists and art lovers, it's Allison, and again today I am sitting on the floor in front of my couch instead of actually being on the artist couch because I have a lot of work left to do on this commission. And so like most people, when I'm working, I like to have some sort of background noise because who likes to work in complete silence? And for me, that usually ends up being a TV show. So I watch, or rather listen to, a lot of TV. And it's always got to be something like easy so I don't like feel like something that's easy to listen to or something I've seen a lot so that I'm not like missing any pivotal plot points or visual amazingness. I always think it's interesting when these TV shows have like artist characters, and so I thought it would be so fun today while I'm working to talk about my 5 favorite portrayals of artists on like TV shows. And I specifically am choosing shows that aren't about artists or art because I think that's what's even funnier. So I've got my marker unsheathed. I'm gonna go from my like the one that I think is like least interesting to most interesting, and these are all shows that I've watched at least twice, so I can like really, well actually these are all shows that I've seen, or at least episodes that I've seen more than once. So coming in at number 5 of just like portrayals of artists that kind of crack me up is Aaron Rose on Gossip Girl. So he was in season 2 for a few episodes. He didn't last very long. He was like one of Serena, the main character's boyfriends, and he was a gallery artist. He was like putting up an exhibition at one of the galleries in New York when she met him, and it wasn't so much his character that cracked me up, even though he was like very much like kind of like the stereotypical like artist character. Like he was really enigmatic and very like, he had this like weird suave attitude, and he was like all about like freedom of expression and like grand romantic gestures. Like I think what really like cracked me up about the portrayal of like an artist, the way Gossip Girl did it, was just like his fashion. Like everyone else, I guess everyone in that show had a pretty distinct but still trendy like style, and his was like thick framed glasses, swooping hair, a scarf, and like some sort of strange outfit that was like a mix of urban and fashionable. Like it just like none of it looked right on this character, and it totally just felt like they were like, okay, what do artists look like? And they Googled like a Hot Topic ad or something. Like it was just so funny to me. And so like that fashion sense coming together with some sort of enigmatic artistic playboy, it just didn't quite mesh right, and I thought it was really funny. So my next favorite, or what most amusing portrayal of like artists, was in King of the Hill, a show that I've seen so many times, and this was season 8 episode 9. So Hank is like going through meeting all these different artists, trying to find someone to commission work from. It's like seeing art from the point of view of like a conservative Texas man, and they're all just like super strange, like not that different from the way Gossip Girl portrayed them. Like they're very like hipstery, and they're very like strange and all about like abstracts and like profanity and like being controversial. And it made me laugh so hard because they were all like also very pretentious, and none of their work was like really that good. And so it was funny to see kind of like the lens that like the creators of that show see artists, like whereas Gossip Girl was like, oh, artists are so cool and they're so suave, and this one was like, artists are so like pretentious and just weird. I mean, like I couldn't be angry at it, because there's definitely people like that, and it was just like hilarious. So the next one is Always Sunny in Philadelphia, season 11, episode 4, and this is when Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito's character, dresses up as like an art critic, and he gets like the Andy Warhol wig, and he's just like, there's definitely a similarity in all three of these, because he's also very pretentious, but like it's drawn to work that is like not that good and mostly meaningless. So he's like, the part that like really sold it for me was when he's walking through the gallery and he's like with the curator, I think, and he's trying to find like work that he thinks is gonna be like the next big thing, and he passes by all this like artwork, and he like hones in on like the AC unit or whatever it is, like just on the floor in the middle of the gallery, and he's like, that piece is amazing, how much for that? And he's got the thick frame glasses, and he's wearing like all black, and again like the white Andy Warhol wig, and everyone is like taking him seriously. I mean, obviously these are, with the exception of Gossip Girl, which I guess is like a drama, but these are all comedies, so it's very like they're kind of making fun of all the characters in these shows, but I really like could not help but laugh at that, especially having been having seen some work that I also am like, what is that? It just made me laugh so hard seeing this portrayal of like an art critic looking at like a piece of furniture, like not even like an artful one, like a couch, but just something that like adjusts temperature, and being like, this is incredible. It's like, so funny. Okay, and then, so that was number 3. My second favorite depiction of an artist on a TV show was actually not really an artist professionally, but it was Data in Star Trek, let me get the season. Okay, season 6, episode 16. And Data, he's having like dreams for the first time. If you haven't seen the show, he's an android, and he feels suddenly very artistically inspired, and he's like, he does art like throughout the show, but he's not an artist, and this is the first time he really like experiences inspiration. And I actually really liked it, not because it was funny, but more because I thought it was like so interesting seeing like this portrayal of what it feels like when you're suddenly inspired as an artist, and especially being shown by someone who's not even like emotional or even a person, because that's just really different from any way that artists are treated, even in shows about artists. And it was very cool seeing like what it feels like to be inspired shown. I felt pretty accurately, because it was like he was making all this different work at once, and it's like it was like the opposite of art block. And I've experienced that feeling too, where it's just like all of a sudden I have like all these ideas, and then like because he was an android, he was able to like do them all in like a matter of hours, which is like something I wish I could do. But I thought it was so cool to see, and actually like pretty close to like pretty relatable. And also I really liked that they were showing art from this like point of view of someone who's just like experiencing it kind of for the first time, and not someone who's like immersed in the world. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then my favorite portrayal of an artist on a TV show. So it's actually 2, but it's the same show, and it's SpongeBob. And it's SpongeBob and Squidward, because they both, okay, and it's, let me get that, there's a specific episode, of course. Okay, it's season 2, episode 28, and it's the one where SpongeBob is taking art classes from Squidward. And SpongeBob and Squidward are both like hilarious portrayals of artists to me, because Squidward is totally like the misunderstood, tortured artist who never like made it because I don't know, did he never try, or was he believes that his talent is just not recognized, which is like, I found that very relatable in school. Like, I felt like people just don't get it, you know? And then there's SpongeBob, who's just like effortlessly amazing at it. Like the part where he draws like the perfect circle, and he's like, first I draw this head. Like, it like has really nothing to do with art or like any social commentary on art. I just love how good SpongeBob is at it without trying, and how Squidward is like not that great at it but has this like artistic ego. And Squidward is a lot like the first three I mentioned, where he's like a little pretentious and maybe not all that good, but still is like very full of himself. I just like that whole episode is amazing, and there's like a lot of episodes where SpongeBob's creative side really comes out. I don't know, he's just so creative and he's so determined, and I love it. And you know what? I actually just thought of a bonus while I was talking about SpongeBob, because one of my other favorite cartoons is Bob's Burgers, and I want to point out that King of the Hill, SpongeBob, and Bob's Burgers are all shows that like the second main character is basically burgers. I love burgers. So anyway, there's the character Edith, who's like the craft store owner and an artist, and that show is totally like goals for me. Like when I'm 80 or however old I get, when I'm finally like wrinkly and mean, like whenever I'm old enough that it's socially acceptable for me to be that cantankerous at all times, I totally want to be Edith, because she is so like into herself. She's like, I have no idea if she's even talented because they never really show her work, but she like has that store and she's all about it, and her husband Harold is like so supportive, and then she's like totally like the self-proclaimed authority of art in Wagstaff, because she's constantly critiquing things and constantly like angry at other people's art. And then when she like nude models for Bob so that she can teach him art, I was like, this is amazing. And it worked. I mean, he did learn. So those are my top 5 with the bonus like honorable mention of Edith. I just always think it's so fun to see, because art is such an undefined thing. Like it can be anything, and an artist can be like any type of person. So it's fun seeing those themes pop up within all these shows that are like for different audiences, different age groups. It's funny seeing like that theme across all these different genres. So I don't know, I kind of like talked a lot and didn't like draw too much, but I did make a little bit of progress. I'll hold this up. It's getting there. I'm excited about it. I'll be working on this for a while, so don't be surprised if you see it in a few more videos. And I would love to hear in the comments what your favorite artists are, or like what your favorite artists in TV shows are. Like I said, I specifically chose shows that aren't about art, and chose shows that like just have artists in for like this one episode, or like they're this one fleeting character. What are they like? So I would love to hear what you guys thought of my picks. What are your picks? What are your favorite shows about artists? We'll probably do another video about that, so keep an eye out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.